Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're diving into something I think we all crave, just a little bit of peace in this crazy, hectic world.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, you know how we're always talking about self-care and all that?
Uh-huh.
Well, we came across this really interesting episode of At Fit and Healthy Life 73, the podcast.
Oh, cool.
And it's all about how to truly recharge and make like Sundays or any day really a zone for resetting.
I like that. A reset zone.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Because it is so easy to just get caught up in the go, go, go of life and never really stop and just be.
it really is. And I think a lot of us are feeling that now more than ever with, all the technology and everything. Like, it's hard to disconnect.
Oh, absolutely. And the episode really highlighted that, like all the constant stimulation we get from, work, social media, even just the news cycle.
Oh, yeah.
It can actually prevent us from reaching a state of true, like, mental rest.
It's like our brains are always on.
Yeah, always on.
Always on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's true. It's like we never really give ourselves a chance to just power down and recharge.
Right, right. And it's funny because it's like with our phones, right?
Yeah.
Like we know we need to plug them in and recharge them or they'll die.
Totally.
But we don't always think about doing that for ourselves.
It's so true. We're so busy taking care of everything and everyone else that we forget about ourselves.
Exactly. So the podcast episode, it really focuses on Sundays
Okay.
as kind of like this prime day for recharging.
I can see that. A lot of people have that day off.
Yeah. But even they acknowledge that not everyone's schedule allows for a full Sunday reset.
Right, right. It's about finding what works for you,
Yeah, exactly.
whether it's Sunday or Tuesday or even just a few hours in the evening. The important thing is to make time for yourself regularly.
I love that. It's about like tailoring it to your own life
Yeah,
rather than feeling like you have to fit into some specific mold.
exactly. Like maybe for some people it's a whole day, and for others it's, 15 minutes in the morning to meditate or something.
Right. It's just that time for you to disconnect and recharge.
Exactly.
So keeping that flexibility in mind,
Okay,
let's unpack this Sunday routine that they present as a kind of starting point.
okay. I'm interested.
Okay, so first up,
Yeah?
no alarm clock.
Oh, I like that already.
Right.
Yeah.
We talk about like waking up naturally with the sunlight.
That sounds amazing. I mean, who doesn't love waking up to sunshine?
Right. Like it's so much nicer than that jarring alarm clock.
Totally. And actually, there's a real physiological benefit to waking up with the natural light cycle. It helps regulate our circadian rhythm, which controls our sleep-wake cycle.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And, like hormone production, our moods, it's all connected to that natural light cycle.
That makes so much sense. So even if like ditching the alarm entirely isn't realistic for everyone,
Right.
maybe try setting it a little later on your day off, just to kind of ease into the morning.
Yeah, exactly. Just give yourself that extra time to wake up naturally. Even if it's just for an extra 30 minutes, it can make a difference.
Okay, so no alarm clock, waking up naturally with the sun.
Okay, I like it so far.
Okay, so what comes next?
I'm listening.
Okay, so then the routine moves into meditation or deep breathing exercises.
Yes.
Yeah, and they emphasize that it doesn't need to be anything elaborate or complicated.
Okay.
Even just like a few minutes dedicated to connecting with your breath, it can have a really big impact.
It's amazing how just taking a few deep breaths can really shift your whole mindset. Like it can calm you down, it can reduce stress. It's like a mini reset for your brain.
Yeah, for sure. And I think especially in a world where we're constantly bombarded with like information and demands,
Yeah,
it's so important to just take a few minutes to just quiet your mind and connect with yourself.
it really is. It's like reclaiming that control over your own attention.
Yes, love that. Reclaiming control. All right, so we've got waking up naturally, some mindfulness practice. What's next?
Let's hear it.
All right, so next up is getting outdoors and connecting with nature.
Okay.
Yeah, like a walk in the park, a hike in the woods,
I like that.
anything that gets you moving and breathing in some fresh air.
That's so important. Nature is like the ultimate reset button,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
Oh, absolutely. Even like a short walk in nature can totally shift my whole perspective. Like it's like a mental reset button.
It's incredible. And there's actually like scientific evidence to back that
Oh,
up.
boy.
Yeah, studies have shown that being in nature can actually reduce stress hormones, improve your mood, and even boost creativity.
It's like our brains are just hardwired to thrive in these natural environments.
Exact.
And it's something that's accessible to almost everyone. you know?
Yeah,
Like you don't need any fancy equipment or a gym membership. Just step outside and soak it all in.
totally. Just get out there and breathe.
Okay, so we've got waking up naturally, mindfulness practice, connecting with nature.
Mm-hmm.
So what's next on this amazing Sunday?
What else could they possibly add?
Okay, so next up is a leisurely breakfast with loved ones.
Oh, I love that. That sounds so nice.
Right. Like they talk about making it an occasion,
Yeah.
like setting a nice table, enjoying good food, really savoring the moment with people you care about.
Yeah, I think that's something we often rush through during the week. We're always in a hurry.
Totally.
But on a day like this, you can really slow down and enjoy it.
Right. And it's not just about the food.
No, it's about the connection.
It's about like creating a space for connection and conversation and just enjoying each other's company.
Absolutely. It's about those simple joys of just being together.
So far, we've got waking up naturally, mindfulness, nature, and a delicious breakfast with loved ones.
Sounds like a pretty amazing day to me.
Right. Like this is shaping up to be a pretty fantastic day.
It is. I'm already feeling more relaxed just thinking about it. It gets even better.
Oh, there's more.
There's more.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, so after that amazing breakfast,
Yeah.
they suggest filling the day with shared activities like think games, reading creative projects,
Uh-huh.
anything that brings joy and connection.
I love that because it's so easy to just like default to scrolling on our phones,
Oh, tell me about it.
even when we're like with people we care about.
It's like we forget how to just be present with each other sometimes.
Right. It's like we're together, but not really together.
Exactly. So this is all about being more intentional with our time and engaging in activities that actually foster genuine connection and presence.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
And it doesn't have to be anything fancy.
Yeah.
Like you said, playing a board game, working on a puzzle together,
Yeah.
or even just having a good conversation.
Yes, those moments of true connection are so valuable.
They really are.
Okay, so in addition to like shared activities,
Yeah.
the podcast also suggests a few other recharge strategies.
Okay, like what?
So one is to be more intentional about limiting technology throughout the day.
That's a good one.
I know I struggle with this one a lot.
Oh, me too.
It's like my phone is just like an extension of my hand sometimes.
Right. It's so easy to just mindlessly scroll.
Yeah, and it's not even like I'm doing anything important.
Right. It's just like a habit.
Yeah, exactly. But the episode talks about how much mental energy we actually expend when we're constantly plugged in.
It's exhausting.
It is. It really is.
So limiting technology frees up all that energy for other things.
Right. Things that actually nourish our minds and spirits.
It's like giving our brains a chance to breathe.
Oh, I like that.
Right.
Okay, so limit technology. What else?
Another suggestion is to engage in creative activities.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, and this could be anything from painting to writing to gardening.
Yeah.
Anything that lets you express yourself and tap into your imagination.
Oh, I love that.
It's like giving our inner child permission to play.
I need to do more of that.
Me too.
I used to love to paint, but I haven't made time for it in years.
I know. It's so easy to let those things fall by the wayside.
It is, but I think it's so important to make time for those things that bring us joy.
I agree.
Okay, so we've got limiting technology, getting creative.
Uh-huh.
What else?
See, they also talk about preparing a nice meal as a form of self-care, which I love.
Yeah.
And this goes beyond just like the practical act of cooking.
Yeah.
It's about choosing nourishing ingredients,
Right.
taking your time,
Uh-huh.
and really savoring the experience.
Like a mindful ritual.
It really is.
And I think it can be so grounding and therapeutic.
It can, especially after a long day.
Yeah.
To just come home and cook a nice meal for yourself.
Yeah, I totally agree.
And then, of course, there's outdoor relaxation.
Of course.
Whether it's reading a book in the park
Oh, yeah.
or simply sitting outside and enjoying the fresh air.
Hmm.
It's all about connecting with the natural world and allowing ourselves to just be.
It's so easy to get caught up in the busyness of life and forget to do that.
I know. It's like we're always on the go. But those moments of quiet contemplation can be incredibly restorative.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
We've explored the importance of disconnecting. We've delved into this really inspiring Sunday routine.
Right.
And we've even touched on some additional strategies for recharging.
But there's one more part.
There is.
There's one more part of the Sunday routine we haven't talked about yet.
Okay, what is it?
And that's how to gently transition back into the week ahead.
Okay, because no one wants to ruin a perfect Sunday with the dreaded Sunday scaries.
Exactly. That's what this is all about.
Tell me more.
So the source suggests a mindful approach to prepping for the week ahead.
Okay.
It's about finding that sweet spot between being organized and prepared,
Yeah.
but without getting bogged down in stress or overwhelm.
Right, because who wants to spend their Sunday night feeling anxious about Monday morning?
Exactly.
So what does that look like in practice?
Well, the routine they outline involves things like tidying up your workspace, maybe jotting down a few key tasks for the week,
Mm-hmm.
but doing it all in a very calm and deliberate way.
I like that. Calm and deliberate.
Yeah, it's about setting intentions rather than getting lost in the weeds of to-do lists.
Oh, that's good. I like that a lot.
And they also emphasize the power of visualization.
Oh, interesting.
Taking a few moments to visualize the week ahead.
Okay.
Seeing yourself successfully navigating tasks and challenges.
I've heard about visualization techniques being used by athletes, but I've never thought about applying them to the work week.
It's a powerful tool.
It is.
By mentally rehearsing our successes, we're essentially training our brains to approach challenges with more confidence and resilience.
It's almost like planting those seeds of positivity.
Exactly.
I love that.
And I think the beauty of this entire routine is that it's all about reclaiming your time and using it to nourish your well-being, both mentally and physically.
It's about creating a rhythm that supports you, not depletes you. I think this episode has been such a great reminder that rest is not a luxury, it's a necessity.
It really is.
And it doesn't have to be this grand, elaborate affair.
No.
It can be about those small, intentional moments woven into our everyday lives.
It's about making those small changes that can have a big impact on our overall well-being.
It's really about bringing those principles into our lives,
Yeah.
on a regular basis, not just reserving it for Sundays.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that rest and rejuvenation aren't rewards, for hard work.
Yeah.
They're essential ingredients for a fulfilling and
Wow.
sustainable life.
Yeah, it's like you can't pour from an empty cup,
Right.
right?
Exactly.
We need to prioritize our own well-being
Yes.
so that we can actually show up
Uh-huh.
for ourselves and for others.
I love that analogy, the
Yeah.
empty cup.
Yeah.
It's so true.
Yeah, and I think this routine really highlights the power of those
Yeah.
small intentional actions.
Totally.
It's not about like making these huge sweeping changes
Mm.
all at once. It's just about identifying those little shifts
Uh-huh.
that can make a big difference
Absolutely.
in how we feel,
Yeah.
how we think,
Yeah.
how we just navigate the world.
It's like those little things that add up over time.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
So it's about empowering ourselves to create a life that feels more balanced,
Mm-hmm.
more aligned, and just more joyful.
For sure.
What stands out to you as like the most valuable takeaway
That's a good question.
from this whole episode?
I think for me, it's that reminder that true recharge isn't like a one-size-fits-all formula.
Yeah.
It's really about discovering what works for you as an individual.
Yeah.
What brings you that sense of peace, energy, and connection.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's a long walk in nature.
Yeah.
Maybe it's losing yourself in a creative project. Or just enjoying a quiet cup of coffee before the day begins.
Yeah, it's about giving ourselves permission to slow down, to disconnect,
Yeah.
and to prioritize those activities that nourish our souls.
Exactly. And to let go of that guilt.
Oh, yeah.
That can sometimes creep in when we're not being productive because rest is productive.
It is.
It's essential for our well-being.
Yes.
And it allows us to come back to our tasks with renewed energy and focus.
I think this episode has been such a great reminder that we all deserve to feel rested, recharged, and connected.
We do.
And it's totally within our reach
Yeah.
to create a life that supports that.
Absolutely.
So as we wrap up, I'd love to leave our listeners with a little challenge.
Okay, I like it.
What's one small step you can take this week to prioritize your own well-being?
That's a great challenge.
Maybe it's scheduling in some downtime.
Yeah.
Maybe it's trying out a new mindfulness practice.
Uh-huh.
Or just making a conscious effort to unplug for an hour each evening.
I love it.
So thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been fun.
We hope you found it insightful and maybe even a little bit transformative.
Me too. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Until next time, remember to take care of yourselves and embrace the power of recharge.